I almost forgot to make this video today. I moved the camera up a little higher, so that should be good. So I was going to do a question video, and I should have actually mentioned it in the video yesterday, then maybe I would have got some questions. Robert Cameron, also known as Half Scottish Guy, he asked me why empty space isn't actually empty and why Venus spins backwards. Actually, I asked those, or I proposed those as possible questions, and he said, why don't you answer those? So I guess I'll answer those. Empty space isn't empty because there are always these pairs of little particles being formed out of nothing, and then they annihilate and go away. And yeah, so even like where there's no air or anything, there's these little particles that are constantly coming into existence and then going out of existence, and that's kind of weird. But that's what happens. I don't know why. So Venus is kind of interesting, though. Venus spins backwards. All the planets in the solar system spin the same direction, this way. If this is north, then they spin this way. Right? Yeah. Bear! Bear is a naughty kitty. Anyway, so all the planets spin the same way except Venus. Venus spins the opposite way. And, strangely, it spins very slowly. All the other planets, the Earth spins at like 900 miles an hour. Venus spins very slowly. I don't know exactly how long a day is on Venus, but it's pretty long. Although Mercury doesn't spin because it's in tidal lock with the sun, so just the same side faces the sun all the time, kind of like the moon. The same side of the moon always faces the Earth, so it makes one rotation in one revolution around the sun. Anyway, that's not important. I'm talking about Venus. Venus spins backwards. How did this happen? Because, if you think about how the solar system forms, it's this big disk of dust and gas and stuff. And most of the gas ended up in the middle, and that's the sun. And then, some of it formed in the other planets. So, when Venus formed, it spun the same way as everything else in the solar system, because it's a spinning disk of gas. Which is, you might wonder why it's spinning to begin with, and that's because of gravity, because it's basically in orbit. If it weren't spinning, it would just fall straight into the center. Like, if we weren't orbiting around the sun, we'd just fall right in. Basically are falling, but our angular momentum is such that we stay going around it in a circle. And eventually, the sun will get really big and swallow up the Earth, but if that didn't happen, eventually the Earth's orbit would degrade and would fall into the sun. Or it would get larger and would float off into space. That's what's happening to the moon. The moon is getting about like 2 inches farther away every year or something. But back to Venus, because that's what I was supposed to talk about. Nobody knows really why Venus spins backwards and so slowly, but the best guess is that at some point in its history, something really big, something like the size of Mars or the Earth, hit Venus. Venus, if you don't know, is about the same size as the Earth. It's a little bit smaller, but not by much. Anyway, and hit it in such a way, so Venus would have been spinning like this, so the thing must have come in like that, hit it to make it turn the other way, but slowly, because there's a lot of momentum in a planet that's spinning this way, and then you hit it and make it go the other way. But that's basically what they think happened to Venus. That was fun. Okay, bye.